Okay. All right. So we are here doing a co-hosted finals match with Jure Colak from, I hope I said that somewhat well, from Bosnia. Jure got ninth place in season one and sixth place in season two. Um, and so today we have Wenzel and Rahul, the second finals match for both of them. They're starting off with what looks to be a relatively hard multi-operation division as a standard task, and this looks like one of the MCWC formats for complex tasks. So welcome here, nice to see you.
Nice
And
to see you too.
Great performance last season. You got sixth, although you did win your match with Sunund, and I also believe had a faster speed score. So yeah, great performance. So my first question to you is, what is it like competing with Wenzel here? I think you've had two matches with him last season. Um, what does it feel like competing with Wenzel? Do you look at the score when you're competing with him? Is it in your mind that this is sort of maybe hopeless? What is it like when you compete with Wenzel?
Okay, so first of all, I try to not to look at the score like at all. Like it doesn't matter who am I playing against. I'm just not gonna look at the score because either I'm gonna be terrified if I'm losing, either or the other case is that I'm winning, but then I will maybe slow down for some reason because I don't know, it just happens. But yeah, it is terrifying, but like I try to not to think about it. Like I try to think just like the other opponents that I've got a chance, even though I know I don't. But yeah, I try to convince myself the opposite.
So I have noticed overall that competitors tend to have significantly below average performances when they're playing Wenzel, and it's also noticeable against Aryan. Do you think it's because people are looking at the score and they're getting in their head and they sort of give up? I'm also wondering if people sort of don't practice really at all for their match with Wenzel or Aryan, and they're also maybe they've just kind of conceded beforehand and they're not really making much of an effort. But I think what you said about the score is helpful. I look at the score sometimes, but I think what you're doing is better. That it doesn't help you.
I mean, I did try to look at the scores like for a few matches, but I just realized that if I'm losing, I'm going to be terrified, and if I'm winning, I'm going to be like, oh, it's easy, and I will slow down in either case. So I just figured out it's better not to look.
Yeah, I have a problem with that second category. If I'm winning, I tend to slow down, and
Yeah.
that sometimes is an issue. So these are obviously, we have new formats. We have, it's 1/3 multi-operation, 1/3 standard, 1/3 complex. So I don't know what your level of comfort is with some of these standard formats. These division questions, particularly, I know you're good at division. How would you do on a finals level division set of questions? They are rather difficult, but I know you're good with division.
Yeah, I tried, and honestly, it's like I solved maybe 60 to 70% of them. And like literally, if I ever compete in this format, like I will just switch whatever it is and hope to be a division if I'm losing, of course,
Okay.
because on the finals level, division and barely addition is the only thing that I can do in 30 seconds. Like square roots are just they just require too much decimals, and I'm not so good with multiplication. I mean, I'm not good with division either, but with addition either. But I can solve those questions because they are generally easier.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. Rahul here. I think Rahul is clearly your closest comparable for the competitors who compete in Calculation League, and he, standard tests or something other than division. I don't think he had much prior experience with. He was noticeably better in square roots than I expect him to be. He must have put in some effort on that. Um, but you can see it here. He did quite well in standard tests on the playoff mode. But when we've gotten to finals mode here, it is a challenge for him. On the division, are you using the whole denominator, or are you using cross division in part when you're doing the division questions?
Cross division. I
You are
tried
using cross division.
practicing like whole denominator, but when it's three digits, I most of the times get lost, and when it's 4 digits, I just like lose myself completely. It's impossible for me. So yeah, I do cross division,
Okay.
cross multiplication, like yeah.
And I think that is the difference here. Last weekend when I asked Rahul, he said he was not using cross division at all, which is quite a feat to attempt to do that on the finals level questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had the hardest level multi-operation category. We have addition and we have irregular roots here. Rahul is quite good at irregular roots.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and but the problem is with the hardest level multi-operation, Wenzel is so much better at this category than everybody else that it makes it's not a good strategy. But it looks like Rahul did get that first question correct, which is good, I guess.
Yeah.
So irregular roots, how comfortable are you trying to solve these sorts of questions?
That's my favorite types of questions, like literally. Yeah, I mean, I try to do like approximations, and then I do like, for example, I see here it's between 7th and 8th roots, and I can calculate both of those. So I just do it like that. I mean, for is the thing, I don't have like one strategy. I base my strategy off of the question. Like when it's close to the 4th root, I calculate the 4th root. When it's like something that I think it's not smart to do it like that, I just try to approximate like potentials, and I try to do it some other way. So I don't have like one strategy. I do it different every time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And do you use logarithms at all for the questions, or no?
Okay, I practiced that a lot between first and second season, and I tried doing that before the second season, and I was comparing myself, and I did get a lot better with that logarithm way, but it's still slower than most of the tasks, like when I do it some other way. So yeah, I can do it on the logarithm way, but it's most of the time slower.
I think for the, at some point, at some number of significant digits, you probably have to switch to logarithms. But when it's 2 or when it's 3 significant digits, not using logarithms is perfectly fine and probably faster overall. So I don't know if you have, do you have any sort of like what Wenzel would call a number library, any sort of like memorized milestones that help you solve the questions? I know Wenzel has shown off that he knows his 2-digit integers to single digit powers to an extraordinary extent, like what is 51 to the 6th power or 51 to the 7th power. So he is he has either an incredibly quick ability to calculate it based on milestones, or he has a significant amount of memorization. I mean, obviously for something like what is 50 to the 5th power, that can be calculated immediately. But are you using any sort of milestones to help you with doing like deeper roots, or what question Rahul has on the screen right now?
Yeah, I don't like try to memorize a lot of stuff, because I try like memorizing, for example, 2-digit numbers to the 3rd power, and I just tried really hard. But I'm good at memorization of numbers, but on a short-term memory. I'm not so good with long-term. So, for example, if I learned that today, I would probably forget half of that tomorrow. So I figured out that I don't need to even try. I will just calculate. I mean, I know like one digit numbers to some powers, depending on the power. But I'm not learning that. I'm really bad at that.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So case I'm sure they'll get another category, but Wenzel doing these large multi-operation questions. I think on the highest difficulty category, his speed this season has been speed score has been 3 times as good as anybody else. Um, do you have any ideas as what he's doing? Do you think, I mean, or any sort of an idea of how that could be the case? I know you're very good at the questions, and obviously Wenzel is extremely talented, but it's still tough to understand. Like this question on the screen, you know, how he manages to solve these questions in an average of 10 seconds.
Yeah, so like that one that he had on the screen, I was already calculating it, and I think, I mean, of course, I could make a mistake, but I think that I could do like that specific question. I didn't see a lot of the ones before, but that question in maybe 20 seconds. But generally, I don't know how do people do it. Like I was going to make a tutorial about that, but I do it like I average one number. What do you call it in English? It's like denominator and what are they called?
Yeah, numerator and denominator.
Okay, yeah. I choose one numerator and one denominator, and I do it like that. I pair them until I have like maybe, I don't know if there are 3 numerators and 4 denominators. I have 3 pairs of some simple numbers that are either in between 0 and 1, either between 1 and 10, and I have one more number to divide it with, and I do it like, I would say, pretty good accuracy. So I would say that is a good tactic, like to figure out that smaller numbers, like round it up on maybe 1 or 2 decimals, depending, and then just doing another multiplication or division, and it works for me. Like I saw pretty good.
Yeah, and the category that they have here for complex questions, it's a good practice test for that, because it's more straight to fractions multiplication.
Yeah, like exactly that type of question is also one of my favorites that Rahul just had on the screen, and like Wenzel has right now.
Yeah, and yeah, they have very different levels of difficulty here. Like the first one, they had to do it to at least 3 significant digits, but then the second one was only 2, I think. Yeah, those questions are a lot of fun. You have to develop your estimation approaches and some people are much better at it than others. Wenzel has a hard version right here with the time 717, and that's going to be 4 or 5 4. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Around 3,300. I thought it would be less, but yeah, I mean, I just did like, this is 2.2 times half, that is 1.1. Third one was 4.5, and that is like around 5 times 717, and that is, I thought it was a little less than that, so I thought it was going to be around 33 or 3400. That is how I do it.
Yeah, that was a hard version. It's rather rare to see a question that Wenzel does not fully calculate within 30 seconds. Sometimes he can make a mistake, certainly, but he was trying to calculate it. He ran out of time.
Yeah, I saw it.
So square roots. Do you do square roots at all? I know it wasn't a particularly significant part of for seasons 1 and 2. Do you do square roots? What kind of method do you prefer to use?
I did practice them like for one time. I mean, I actually practiced everything at one time, because I just went like, this month I will do this and this, second month I will do this and this. So I actually practiced everything, but square roots, it's not, I don't like them that much, but it's like mid type of question. And the way I do it, it's like, I don't know what's it called, but just the regular way with the cross multiplication also. Yeah, so I don't even know if there is like other way to do it on some significant digits. I mean, I did hear about one, but I don't think it's like doable in 30 seconds. Like it's just way harder.
The duplex method is definitely the primary version. I myself use like a variety of the duplex method that is different, but it's sort of based on the same algebra. My understanding is that Wenzel and Collian are not using that method, and I don't. I don't know if anybody knows with certainty what they're doing, but especially in Collian's case, the sort of video recordings of him doing it would strongly suggest he is not using any form of the duplex method. So I think I might know. I think I know what they're doing, but I'm not sure, and I will try to post what I think they're doing at some point. But there are definitely varieties of approaches you can use especially when you're targeting a certain amount of significant digits. Like for the approach that I use, I think for me is overall faster if I need only 5 to 7 significant digits. But if I needed like 10, I'm not going to be able to do the ones with 10 because it kind of collapses towards when the significant digits get too many. So yeah, okay. So Wenzel has won by 12, 15, and 12. I do not believe I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anybody has had a single digit set against Wenzel this season.
I don't think so. I think not.
Yeah, so I think he has had 2 matches, I think, where he won by 10 points. But I don't think anybody's kept it under 10. So we have a relatively easy multi-operation, multiplication, and 8th roots on this one. And Wenzel just solves that question so quickly.
Hold it to him.
So 6x5 multiplication. This is definitely on the easier side for the final.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable doing a 6x5 in 30 seconds?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not trying like by digits how much time do I need, but I think I could do 6x5. Maybe like max that I could do is 7x7, but it would be like maybe yes, maybe not.
Okay.
So how do you do these like 8 roots? Do you just do 3 times the regular root, or?
Yeah. I'm just gonna do 3 square roots. Yeah, that one the 8th roots in the previous mode, the playoffs mode, they weren't particularly difficult because it was only 2 or 3 significant digits. I think it's 3 or 4 now.
It's 4 like on Wenzel's screen.
Yeah, and so that was Wenzel narrowly got the first question solved in time. I'm not sure. Yeah, that one was a little bit easier for him. He has a full 8x8, which is what's interesting here is Wenzel is clearly using 2x2 blocks in cross multiplication here. And as I outlined in my tutorial, I believe that if somebody truly mastered the 2-digit blocks, they would easily break what is considered the record for cross multiplication. I think using 1-digit blocks, getting past like 12 seconds would be extremely difficult. But using 2-digit blocks, you could probably get down to 8 or 10 seconds. But the difficulty for Wenzel or for any non-Sorbonne competitor is probably doing the 3-digit additions rapidly without ever making a mistake or sort of hesitating. And when you do addition, how many columns do you prefer to add, or can you add? How many do you prefer to add for speed purposes, but how many would you be comfortable adding, at a reasonable speed?
Okay, that was the least favorite question I could get because I'm just so bad at addition. Like it's but I'm trying so hard. Like, addition is the thing that I practiced the most in the last 2-3 years. Like, it's literally the thing that I practice the most, and I'm just not getting good at it ever. I'm doing 2 columns now, and I do it like the third difficulty of task. I don't know. It's, I think, 10 6-digit numbers. I think,
Jedes Mal.
and I do it like in 30 or 35 seconds. Like, I'm barely over 30-second mark. But when I do it like with 1 column, then I do it in 20 to 25 seconds. So
Okay.
I'm getting close to getting better with 2 columns, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, because addition just doesn't get into my brain. Like, I don't know why. It just doesn't go.
So I mean, yeah, everybody has some people like really like doing addition, some people hate doing addition, and yeah, I mean, it's just personal preference and what kind of things you like to do, I guess. I will say I realized,
Jetzt wäre
most people just practice addition on its own. I realized, relatively recently that once I started practicing mixed addition and subtraction, it made my just addition time become noticeably faster, which I thought was interesting. It was I hadn't gotten any faster in addition in a long time, and then I started practicing mixed with subtraction, and all of a sudden I became noticeably faster at it. And Wenzel seems to have the virtually identical addition speed as I do, which is interesting.
Well, maybe it's the reason because I watched your tutorial and you said that, I mean, I do it too, but when you have like plus 89, you do minus 11. So
yeah,
probably it's that, like, when you became faster with addition and subtraction, you became faster with addition and addition of big numbers, because that is basically subtraction for you.
right.
So I think probably that is the reason, and that is probably very clever to do. When I
think what truly happened was, like, while I was very comfortable doing that process for numbers, that were like 89 or 87 or something like that, I think doing it with subtraction allowed me to become comfortable with the whole range. So like now if it's 63 or 60, 67 is a better example, 57, I can do the immediately doing the subtraction instead of the addition. And so it increased the range there. So Wenzel won that one by 15 again. We have one set left here. Obviously this is a 5-5 set match. But we will have, hopefully you'll come back for one of the later matches that it will be more sets and closer result here.
I hope so too.
Wenzel was getting quite frustrated on those 8th root questions. 4 significant digits. I suppose that is quite tough. I haven't done a finals 8th root set.
I did try to do it, and like, the problem the most of the times was the 4th digit. Like, I would look at the questions later, and the problem, I would most of the times get 3 digits right and just miss the 4th one. So I was going to practice that too, but like, I'm just practicing addition and multiplication now, because I'm literally, I don't know what should I do to be like better in that. It just doesn't go.
Yeah. I really don't. I mean, everybody has different styles, obviously, and I mean, it's so customized for each person as to what what the proper approach would be to improve something specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean these questions. I think the division question here that Rahul has on the screen. If I know Wenzel missed one of them. It may have been this one, which looks like it's even hard to count the digits here with
9, I think.
Yeah, nine. Yeah, it's a 14 divided by 6 with so 9. Yeah.
Who did 8, I think. Yeah, he did 8. Maybe he was like for 1 off.
Yeah, it's quite amazing that Wenzel has managed to become competent in every single category that can come up. I mean, some of them are very difficult. I think the one we had an exponent category, which in the playoff stage was unreasonably difficult. So that category was maybe the only exception, but I tried to make it more reasonable. We had like a 3-digit number to the 9th power, which is obviously not reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I competing with Wenzel at this point, it's just, I don't, he's going through, there are very few categories possible where he was significantly behind anybody. Aryan in addition, Collian and Aryan in sum of squares, and that's really the list of categories where he was noticeably behind somebody. Obviously there are some categories where the times are very close, but as far as clearly being beat in a category, that was at those 2 categories, which makes it really difficult to compete with him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's Wenzel, like another completely different story, like from anyone else.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the final stage goes. The performance has been incredible. The standard task performance has been really impressive for everybody to see, because how he got so good at them so quickly, doesn't follow the normal rules of practicing.
Yeah.
And so I think Rahul on this one here, he's sort of it's 21-4 here. We're running out of time. And Wenzel has posted a win that looks pretty much the same as his last match against Avalaksha.
Yeah.
Okay.
105-33.